Outside a hotel giving refuge to asylum seekers, the message from protesters is clear. You're not welcome here.
Get them out! Get them out!
It was said to have begun as a peaceful rally at the Suites Hotel in Knowsley on Merseyside. Within just a couple of hours, it turned ugly.
Loads here, mate. Absolutely loads.
With the refugees inside the hotel, the protesters turned their anger on the police. Missiles were hurled at officers, a police van burnt to a shell. Counter-protesters who came out in support of the refugees had also gathered.
We've been in the hotel today talking to people. They are very disturbed by the events. They are just ordinary people. The things that have happened to them, conflicts coming to their countries, and they are just as shocked and disturbed by what happened last night as we are.
Merseyside police said detectives are investigating reports of an incident which occurred earlier in the week when a man allegedly made inappropriate advances towards a teenage girl. It's thought to be one of the reasons which sparked the protests. In a statement today, a Home Office spokesman said, "The scenes outside the hotel and violence towards police officers last night by a group of people in Merseyside were totally unacceptable. We're working closely with Merseyside police and partners on the ground to ensure the safety of those in our care and the wider community." The local authority, Knowsley Council, said it had been given less than 48 hours notice of the Home Office's intention to place asylum seekers at the hotel, but they were committed to supporting people fleeing persecution. Well, earlier I spoke to Steve Rotherham, the Metro Mayor of the Liverpool City region, and I began by asking him what he made of the events of last night.
It's hugely disappointing. We're known, aren't we, in our area as being somewhere that welcomes people who are fleeing persecution or famine or war. And yet we saw people last night targeted who were absolutely innocent of the sort of conjecture and speculation that surrounded their stay in part of the city region in Knowsley. And it's typical, isn't it, at this moment in time where everything's quite visceral in this country, very, very sort of polarised views of politics in the world. And it's overspilled last night.
I mean, you've made it quite clear for a number of years now that Liverpool welcomes asylum seekers, welcomes refugees. It is quite possible that some of your constituents don't agree.
And it is quite possible and quite probable, in all honesty, because they weren't all from out of town who were involved in these activities last night. But that's part of the problem. We constantly hear the mantra from central government about levelling up, and these people don't feel as if things are being levelled up in their favour. And therefore, sometimes they take that out on scapegoats. And I think, unfortunately, these people who are seeking asylum, they're fleeing some of the worst circumstances that anyone can ever imagine. And they no longer want to be here, stuck in a hotel without their families and friends and jobs and all of the things that we would expect in a normal life. And yet they were targeted by people stirred up, I have to say, by social media.
Suella Braverman, the Home Secretary, has just said that the alleged behaviour of some asylum seekers is no excuse for violence and intimidation. What do you make of that?
I find myself in a difficult position because I've never agreed anything what that woman says, but I do agree with her on this point. And it's not an excuse. Whatever has happened, people need to abide by the law. If Boris Johnson's not above the law, and he wasn't, then no other individual should believe that they are. And so those activities last night will be investigated. And if people are found to have done things that are criminal, charges will be brought, I'm sure.
Now, you've just come from a police briefing. What have you been told? What can we expect over the next couple of days?
Well, what we're trying to do, hopefully, is dampen down some of the problems that are being created by some of these social media posts, inflaming people's passions to go and chase these people out of our city region. So we're hoping that the police will have a strong presence. And then we need to have a debate, don't we, about what do we do with people who are seeking asylum in this country. and where are the appropriate places for those people to be housed. The real issue for me is about trying to ensure that we treat those people who are fleeing persecution in the right way, and not probably what they witnessed last night if they looked out of their hotel windows and saw the scenes outside of police vehicles being set alight. So, you know, we really don't want those images to deter people from coming to a place like Liverpool.
Steve Rotherham, thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thanks.